Okay, right, to start the machine we make sure that the start buttons aren't pressed in and they're out. We make sure these guards are closed because they've got safety catches on which will stop the machine. Make sure the track is empty and all sensors are lit and nothing in the way. We have a control here which is an emergency stop button which can lock in, so always make sure that's out. We have a green button which starts the feeding belts down at the bottom end. We have a latch switch here which starts this conveyor here, and this speed control knob here also controls this first conveyor belt. So if we start the green button, the belts and the aligner feeders start up, and you will note that the green flashing beacon is illuminated, and this means that the machine is about to start at any time. So please warn operators that if the green beacon is flashing, to keep away from the machine because it could start at any time. So we go to the top end of the machine and give the machine some product by turning that. So that conveyor belt now going, and the sweets or candies will go down the track and be fed into the machine. The sensors take over. If there was constant product, the machine would go faster, but there is no constant product because we're just doing a little test. But away the sweets go, and basically that is how you start the machine. The side aligners here are all set in speed, but should you want to change the speed of these, there are speed controllers that will control the speed of the belts to give you a little bit more flexibility. But should you change these settings, please make a note of the settings in now, so should you lose the settings you can go back to the original settings. The machine has auto tracking. You put the air supply into there, and if you look at the belt sections, you will note that everyone has a little air cylinder, and these are for the auto tracking. So there's a little eye under the belt, and should the belt run off track, it will centralise the belt. Make sure when you run the belts you have your compressor on, because if the belts go offline it will damage the belts and you'll have to replace them. In the back of the machine on the electric panel we have the PLC which controls everything. We have a speed controller which is controlled by the PLC, so please don't make any changes to that. You've got a bank of trips. Should anything go wrong with the machine, these will trip out to stop the machine getting further damaged. Contact us. Down here we have how the heat gets to the heaters on the jaws, and basically you have carbon brushes that run around on brass rings. Now after a long period of time these will get dirty, so just to wipe them with a cloth maybe every 4 or 5 weeks or something will help to keep the machine running nice and smoothly. One thing to check when you run the machine is that all the sensors are looking at the belt. If they're looking at something other than the belt, the lights will go off, or you'll get that. We need them looking at the belt so you can see the beam, which I'm not sure whether you can see that. See the beam looking nicely at the belt, and then when something goes under it, it will trigger it. So don't have the beam obstructed by anything.